Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati uttamashloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Ārādhayo Bhagavāna Vrajeshu tanayas Tadhāma vrindavanam Ramya kāchitupāsana vrajavadhu Vargena va kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamadam prema pumartho mahāt. Śrī Caitanya-Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradharana para. Namo Vishnu Padaya Kṛṣṇa Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Mahāpurana in this Kartik Damodar month, Canto 10, Chapter 29, entitled Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa and the Gopis meet for the Rasa dance. So yesterday we were reading the first verse and discussed a lot about setting the scene, how to approach this wonderful transcendental pastime of the Lord, and with the eyes of devotion, not with the eyes of lust. So let's continue from the next verse, which is text number 2. Tadodaraja kakubhi karirmukham rachya vilampan arunena santamayi sa charsinam udgach chochomrijan priyaya iva dirghadarshinah. Translation and purport for the disciples of His Divine Grace. P.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The moon then rose, anointing the face of the eastern horizon with the reddish hue of his comforting rays, and thus dispelling the pain of all who watched him rise. The moon was like a beloved husband who returns after a long absence and adorns the face of his beautiful beloved wife with red kumkum. Purport: young Kṛṣna engaged his internal potency, and she immediately created an exciting atmosphere for the conjugal love. Hare Krishna. This is Kṛṣna book. Where is it now? Okay. So we are also parallelly reading the Kṛṣna book also. So it was the full moon night. We have already discussed that. Kṛṣna was around 8 years old. This happened a year after the Govardhan Parikrama or Puja. Sharad Purnima comes about 15 days before Govardhan Puja. So, or you can say 1 year after in one way, right? So the appearance of moon increased Krishna's desire to dance with the gopis, right? Let's see if it's probably in the next verse. Okay. The moon was like a beloved husband who returns after the long husband. The moon anointing the face of the eastern horizon with the reddish hue of his comforting rays, dispelling the pain of all those who watched him rise. So poetic, is it not? Shukdev Goswami is so poetic, because that's one of the qualities of, they're also called Kavi. The great devotees are poetic. Not poetic in the sense, mundane sense. Kavi also means very intelligent. That means they have use. Sorry, someone, is Mataji, you're saying something? Okay.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Sorry to disturb. Hare Krishna.
Very well. No worries, Mataji. So in short, here we're talking about setting the scene. So we discussed about the time of the year. Now we are getting into the finer details. So Shukdev Goswami is bringing our attention to the moon. And we all know moon is cooling, moon is soothing, moon Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala. Sushital. Shitalta Pradhan Karta hai. Shitalta. It's very cooling, soothing. We have discussed in the Bhagavad Gita also that moon is the one which gives nectar to the fruits and the vegetables because of its very pleasing rays, right? Very pleasing, comforting rays. Just by looking at moon, especially the full moon, we feel so, if someone is going through the modes of passion, etc., just by looking at these elements of nature or Krishna's wonderful eyes, which moon is also one of the eye, right? We feel naturally there's a deep sense of comfort, and we must spend time with nature because it's Krishna's. Like we go to a water body, lake, or a waterfall, we feel naturally comforting. We watch the sunset or the sunrise, we naturally feel very comforting. We go to the ocean and just sit and observe the wonderful ocean or the mountains or the waterfalls or the lakes or the ponds. They're all in, just by being around them, we'll feel a great sense of happiness. So in short, you can see that the stage is getting ready, right? The moon is one of the agents or servants of Krishna who is setting the scene so that the transcendental dancer Kṛṣna can enact on that stage. Let's see what happens further. I'll go to text number 3. Anyone wants to read? Baldev Prabhu, can you want to read?
Was you asking me?
Yes, Prabhu, can read.
Thank you.
Then Subal Prabhu can read. And then Pragya, Ruby Mataji can read. Yeah.
Origin devotees, then pranam, all goes to Śrīla Prabhupada, text 3. Drishta kumud bantam akhanda mandalam Ramanan na vam nabo kumar kumkuma runam vanam cha tat komalo gobi ranjitam jogukalam bamo drisham mono haram. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vivekananda Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Lord Krishna saw the unbroken disk of the full moon glowing with the red effulgence of newly applied vermilion, as if it were the face of the goddess of fortune. He also saw the Kumuda lotuses opening in response to the moon's presence, and the forest gently illumined by its rays. Thus, the Lord began to play sweetly on his flute, attracting the minds of the beautiful-eyed Gopis. Purport. The word Jagau in these verse indicates that Lord Krishna played songs on his flute as confirmed in the text 40 by the words Ka striyo onge te kalo padayato vinu gita. The word Rama may indicate not only Lord Vishnu's consort but also Srimati Radharani, the original goddess of fortune. Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty of the moon god, and the moon plays a prominent role here in preparing for the Lord's entrance into the midst of Rasa dance. So, this is beautifully described the environment at the time before the Rasa dance when Krishna came to the forest. Back to Boji, you can describe more, explain more. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So the moon is setting the scene. Now also there is special mention here of there are different types of lotuses, and there are, some we know that bloom in the day, right? Most flowers, they bloom in the day, but there are certain types of lotuses called komuda. They bloom in the night. These are called night blooming komuda lotuses, as we see it's in the word to word kamuda vantam. And everyone is kind of facilitating Krishna's Lila. The moon is facilitating, the forest is facilitating, the flute is facilitating, the komudas are facilitating. This is the whole mood of every character, because they're not just lotuses, they're not just moon, some inanimate object. They're all part of the transcendental Lila, and they're serving in different capacity. They are serving in their best capacity, as we know in the Damodar Lila. Even the Ukhala is serving, the grinding motor is serving, the churning rod is serving, the milk is serving, the monkeys are serving, the friends are serving, the gopis are serving, the rope is serving. Everyone is serving in different capacity. But the goal is same, to give pleasure to the Supreme Lord. So here also we see that the moon is serving, the komoda lotuses are opening, right? Gently, to set the perfect environment or the scene for the transcendental rasa dance. And then the Lord, Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa, played his wonderful flute, Jagau. He played his wonderful flute. Vahamadrisham. and it was manah haram. Man ko har lete hain. Of course, a lot can be said about Krishna's Venu, Gita. His Grace Amarendra Prabhu has given 40 classes, actually 40 plus sessions on just Venu Gita. So you can imagine, what great souls they are like diving into the nectar of Venu Gita. And that's their brilliance, that on one aspect of, or just on the Venu, they can just glorify it for time immemorial. That's the example he likes to give is like, if let's say someone has milk and sugar, right? And some basic ingredients, some flour, milk, sugar, right? A person who knows little cooking will be able to make maybe 2-3 preparations out of it, is it not? But an expert cook with the same 3-4 ingredients, right, can make 200 preparations out of it from the same ingredients. Similarly, the verse is same. The verse is same we are reading, but those who are very pure souls, they can just meditate on that, keep glorifying, keep singing about the glories forever. Like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj spoke on the first line of the first verse of the first canto. First line, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1, Line 1 for 30 days in Vrindavan. Right? People said, oh, I want to hear 10th canto, and this is it. This is real stuff. Until we understand about the supremacy of the Lord, how can we understand the sweetness of the Lord? So Kṛṣṇa, one thing which I'm reminded of, the flute. Flute is basically a call of the Lord, is it not? Kṛṣṇa is attracting the minds of beautifully eyed gopis, right? By playing his flute. As we read in the translation, Kṛṣṇa is attracting, he's Manohara, right? One of the names of Kṛṣṇa is Manohara. Radha Manohar is one deity also, I think, Radha Manohar or Murli Manohar, right? These are different names. The word Hari itself means the one who does Haran, Man ka Haran. He steals the mind. So he is using his call, or he is calling us, calling the gopis and stealing away their hearts. Now, is he calling us also? Right? Absolutely, he is calling us. He is absolutely calling us through the words of Guru, through the words of Vaishnavas, through the words of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, right? And through insight also, if we have propensity and desire to hear it. One time, one devotee was giving this example that he was in Vrindavan and he said there is a temple in Vrindavan where the bell rings only in the night time, and it's quite far from where they were living, about a mile or so. And in the night time, they were hearing the bell. So they were surprised. Wow, interesting that the temple, some worship is going on in the night time. Then one devotee who was kind of local, he shared that the bell rings over there 24/7 or throughout the day. but you were able to hear in the night time. Why? Because in the daytime there is so much rush, bus, traffic, people, pee, horns, right? Rickshaw wala, car wala, bus wala, everyone is running here, running there. So then there are so many other sounds that the sound of that bell is not audible. And that devotee drew a kind of beautiful lesson, which I really like. That's our life, right? That bell represents Krishna's bell. And that person represents us who is trying to hear. But when we have a lot of voices inside going, name, fame, adoration, this, that, I want this, I want that, then there is the Krishna's bell is, or Krishna's call, Krishna's flute, whatever way, is not audible because we are too busy in the hustle bustle of this life. We have no time to pause and try to hear to Krishna. Therefore, his Venu is not audible to us. But when we pause in the sense, try to genuinely connect with the Supreme Lord through the holy name, through what is Prabhupada trying to convey us when we read scriptures, what is Guru Sadhu Shastra trying to convey us, what today I was hearing one devotee was sharing, Guru मानना तो आसान है, but Guru की मानना बहुत कठिन है. Many people, oh, he's my Guru, oh, he's my Guru, oh, he's my Guru. But how much we follow the instructions of the Guru, that is the biggest thing. Very, very important point. Guru मानना आसान है, but Guru की मानना कठिन है. To follow the instructions of the Guru genuinely. What is my spiritual master wanting me to do? Will he be pleased by what I do? Or will this displease him? Right? So, in short, when we try to connect with the Lord, then we'll always be able to hear his transcendental flute, his call. He's always calling us. He's always looking, right? We are lost in this world, but he's always trying to attract us by his pastimes, right? Like Damodar Lila. Iti driksvalila bhirananda kunde swaghosham nimajjantam akhyapayantam. Drowning the inhabitants of Raja and drowning his devotees in his nectarian pastimes. That's also a call. The Kartik month, the Ekadashi Tithi, the deities, the devotees, the book Bhagavatam, the festivals which come, Gita Jayanti is coming, so many wonderful Vaishnava festivals come. The opportunity to share, all these are nothing but call of Krishna. Sometimes it comes directly, sometimes it comes through the medium of Vaishnava, sometimes it may come through some other Tom, Dick, Harry who may not be connected to even Krishna in any way. But if are we tuned to hear, is our frequency aligned, right? I'm sure everyone must in some point in their car or in the past somewhere align that frequency, right? To be very precisely tune that transistor knob to hit that right frequency to hear the right whatever, right? So we have to align our frequency, spiritual frequency, to hear Krishna's flute. Then we will get a lot of lessons. Then we'll hear Manohara. Man ko har lenge. And if Krishna steals the heart, what could be better than that? Any other thoughts, comments anyone has? Okay, let's read the next verse, text 4. Yes, someone like to read? Yes, Subal Prabhu. Ruby Mataji?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Okay, please. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Nishamya Geetam Tad Ananga Vardhanam Rajastriya Krishna Vinita Manasa Ajagmor Ananyo Anyuyan Anakshito Dyamaha Sayatma Kanto Javaloka Kundalaha. Translation by the disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the young women of Vrindavan heard Krishna's flute song, which arouses romantic feelings, their minds were captivated by the Lord. They went to where their lover waited, each unknown to the others, moving so quickly that their earrings swung back and forth. Apparently, each gopee went secretly, hoping to avoid advertising to her rivals the fact that young Krishna was in the mood for romantic affairs. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti poetically describes the situation as follows. Krishna instigated a terrible act of thievery in Vrindavan when he played on his flute. The song of his flute entered through the ears of the gopis into the inner treasure chamber of their hearts. That wonderful music stole all their most valuable possessions, their sobriety, shyness, fear, and discrimination along with their very minds. And in a split second, this music delivered all these goods to Krishna. Now each gopi went to beg the Lord to return her personal property. Each beautiful young girl was thinking, I have to capture that great thief, and thus they went forward, each unknown to the others. Back to you, Prabhuji and Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this nice verse. So, Krishna is calling, and every gopi heard it. And it's mentioned in the Krishna book. The atmosphere was very cooling and festive, right? Because there were fragrant flowers. And when Krishna played his flute, it increased 1,000 times because of the rising moon. Calm, cool, blossoming flowers, right? So the scene was perfectly set. And immediately, the word used is immediately. That as soon as they heard Krishna's call, immediately they left all their respective engagements and swiftly Lasat kundalam gokule vrajamanam. Right? In that, Krishna is running swiftly. You see, this is beautiful. Devotee runs after Krishna swiftly. Krishna runs towards his devotees swiftly. Actually, Krishna runs 1,000 times more swiftly towards the devotee. We know that. So this shows their eagerness, utsa, nishcha, dharya. Now, time is odd, correct? Time is odd, it's night time. And they have a lot of things to do, right? Some are feeding their husband dinner, some are, it is mentioned some, I think maybe it will come in the following verses. They were all doing different things. That's going to come in the next verse. But that moment, they just left it. The milk was half boiling, someone dressing, someone One, some put the top garment on the bottom and the bottom on the top. They're basically, as mentioned here in the purport also, that they lost their everything, or Krishna stole their everything. Krishna is Hari. Their fear, their discrimination, and their minds also. Not in a negative way. Like when a person is in the deepest of darkness, then also like anger, and the mind is lost. What one is talking, one doesn't know. What one is doing, what one doesn't know. Right? So it's not that state. This state is in the pure love. That state we're talking about, like someone is totally drunk and doesn't know what he's talking, that's in pure or like ignorance or material, pure pool of material world. But these people are drowned in the pool of spiritual ecstasy. It's not that they lost their intelligence because they were like drunk, right? Or they were in ignorance. They are in complete pure love. When there is complete pure love, logic does not work, right? Like, for example, a mother, if the child falls in the pool, the mother may not know swimming, but the mother will just jump. Is it not? To save the child. The mother herself may not know how to swim. She'll not think, well, I'll be able to save him or her. She'll just jump, right? She'll not care of, and that's very tiny fraction of Gopis' love towards Krishna. That's like the prema parikashta. Even in this world, that, we see a mother would jump, not worry for her own life, not worry for the logic. Hey, Baba, I don't know swimming. How will I save him? No, she'll just jump. She'll give up her fear. She'll give up her discrimination. She'll give up her, because there is some genuine love. So here, they gave up their everything. Hey, Krishna is calling. That's it. In split second, this music delivered all these goods to Krishna. Wow. In short, they offered their everything. And they immediately, very swiftly, as the words used are, that their kundala, their earrings were moving back and forth, right? Kundala. Because of the haste, right? So it shows their eagerness, right? Because if we are eager for something, then we'll hurry. Hey, I don't want to miss a moment. So this is what we can also learn. That we should be eager for Krishna Katha, eager for Vaishnav Seva, eager for any kind of devotional service. That I should not miss anything. Krishna is calling me. This is pure love. So they all rushed towards Vamsivata, and they were doing different things, which is going to come in the next verse. And under the Vamsivata, Krishna was standing. The bluish Ghanashama, Shama Sundara, Rasika Shekhara, Rasa Shiromani, Śrī Krishna. Let's see what happens further. Text number 5. Anyone wants to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You can.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Text
Hare Krishna,
5.
Prabhuji.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mataji, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
No, I'm sorry. I was just adding that, Prabhuji, the part that the Gopi wants to go alone, not going with the friends.
Can you repeat the thought that Gopi wants to go alone? Yes.
Yeah, they become so selfish at this time. They want to go all alone. meeting only Kṛṣṇa. That also is a type of love, no? They don't want to share. They want to go alone. Otherwise, when they go for water, to the rivers and all, they go together. But here, each one is hiding. Each girl wants to go alone, no? Depriving their shyness, their sobriety, fear, discrimination. They just want to go alone because of the love that they have for Kṛṣṇa. So beautiful, no, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Mataji, for emphasizing on that point. Yes, I mean, it may sound selfish, but actually,
Love.
they know Krishna's heart. That's the mood of pure devotees. So they want to do what Kṛṣṇa wants them to do. Pure devotee knows Krishna's heart, Kṛṣṇa knows pure devotee's heart. So I would not term that as selfish, or it is transcendental selfishness, like transcendental anger, transcendental love. Everything is transcendental here. So it may seem a little bit selfish, or rival is the word used here, right? But it's very transcendental.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry to intervene.
No, thank you. Hoping to avoid advertising to her rivals.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to call, hey, Sakhi, hey, look, Krishna's calling. Shall we go? What do you think? No.
No third opinion here. No. Alone.
As Prabhupada says, everyone has to fly their own plane. That also we can learn. Ultimately, when the call of Krishna will come, when the prana prayana samaye, ultimately one has to fly one's own plane. The best of the husband, wives, son, daughter, सब यहीं रह जाएंगे. घर, गाड़ी, बंगला. So we have to also, we can learn that ultimately day will come, Krishna will call. I need to check in my heart, am I ready? Right? Like Narad Muni called Kailash. Kailash, come. I'll take you. Kailash said, no, Baba, I have so many things. We all know the story, right? So we were in college, then we were doing this drama. And then the devotee who was guiding us said, we should do this exercise. If Narad Muni comes in our life, what will I do? What excuse I will make? Right? Narad Muni calling, Krishna calling, same thing. So how many of us can say, thank you, Krishna. If you want me to come with you, I am ready. That needs a lot of introspection. I'm ready. I'm not qualified, but I'm ready. If you think so, I am. Tatshanat, immediately. When the call came to Parikshit Maharaj, 7 days, he didn't say, oh, let me train all my ministers, let me train all my children and this and that. Let me make sure, right? Everything is set. No. It is mentioned he left the kingdom and everything like one would leave stool. Never to look back again. In the olden days, they would go in the outside to take the call of nature. Once done, then nothing looking again, who insects getting or pig is coming. No, like one doesn't look at it. It's like stool. So he left all his kingdom and like stool. Never to look back again. So Gopis left everything because Krishna is calling. That call is intensity is so, their love intensity is so deep that everything else is like very feeble, insignificant. in front of that. If one has pure diamond, why will one ask for broken pieces of glasses, as Dhruva Maharaj says? Krishna is like the pure diamond. Anything else is just a broken piece of glass. Whether it's wealth, name, fame, recognition, power, prestige, home, car, woman, all these are very insignificant. So the gopis were not just reading or hearing it, but they were living by it, right? Because, leaving in the dead of the night means they're like risking a big risk. Their family may not accept them later, right? The social customs may not accept that. They may be criticized. Hey, what are you doing? So much risk they are taking. Is it not? But no. This is what Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is all about. To hell with the customs and this and that, if it does not help to awaken love for God. Sometimes we are caught up in this, Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was thinking, oh, morally this will happen. Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, so many rational, logical points he gave, but Krishna said, all that is not correct. You're talking like a pandit, but you're actually a fool. Give up mundane morality for the higher dharma. So let's see what happens further. Text number 5. Any other thoughts, comments before that? Before we move to text 5? Okay, yes, Ruby Mataji, you can read this. And this will be the last for the day.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees. Text 5. Duhyanto vijaju kaschidoham. Text 5. Duhyanto vijayoho kaschid doham hitva samusukaha poyodhisityang sanjavam anudasya parajajuhu. Translation and purport by the disciple of His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Some of the gopis were milking cows. When they heard Krishna's flute, they stopped milking and went off to meet him. Some left milk curdling on the stove, and others left cakes burning on the oven. Purport. The eagerness of these cowherd girls, so lovingly devoted to young Kṛṣna, is shown here. So this verse describes the pure love and surrender of the gopis towards Kṛṣna. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Mataji. So, as we were talking about, sama utsukkaha, utsa, not just little enthusiasm, some complete enthusiasm, like full of bubbling with enthusiasm, right? So, Prabhupada writes in the Kṛṣna book, they all rushed towards Vamsivata. Some were engaged in milking cows, but they left halfway through. Now, One may say, well, what could have been different if they went 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later? For the gopis, the mood is Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena. A moment of separation. Moment seems to be like 12 years or more in the absence of Lord Govinda. And that Govinda is calling. And so how can we miss? What to speak of a minute? Moment is like 12 years. That's their sam utsukaha. They could not waste a single moment. What to speak of? Prabhupada is mentioning, some had just, collected milk and put on the pot or the stove for boiling. They did not even have time to turn it off or just take it aside. Let the milk boil. Let whatever has to happen, let it overflow. Let it, I don't have time. Tatshanat. Of course, we're not saying to artificially imitate it, right? Like suddenly, we cannot artificially imitate it, but at least we can appreciate in our hearts what is their level of love. What is their level of love? Some had put, Prabhupada is saying, some had put, they did not care whether the milk overboiled and spilled, Damodar Lila, right? Overboiled and spilled. She left. She didn't even tell, hey, my husband, the milk is on the fire. Please take care of it after 5 minutes. Sometimes Matadis may tell their husband, hey, I'm going. After 10 minutes, please turn off the stove, right? I remember my mother used to tell this a lot. Okay, turn off the stove after 5 minutes, or, I would, okay, I'll do it. No, she didn't have time to even do that. So some were breastfeeding their small babies. Yeah, this is going to come in the next verse. So in short, in whatever state they were doing different chores. Some were milking, some were boiling the milk, some were doing different things. Yeah, left cakes burning in the oven. Whatever cakes they were making, let it burn. No time to take those out, no time to tell anyone. Because the fire of separation to meet Kṛṣṇa was much higher than any other fire, in the milk boiling in the fire or the cakes burning in the fire. To extinguish the bigger fire, they let the smaller fires. If let's say a big house is on fire and there is a small piece of wood which at a different area which is on fire, what will we try to save first? A very tiny piece of fire which will anyways not cause much harm, right? And definitely one will try to focus the big one, because there could be people inside. There could be, it's a major loss, right? If the whole house burns and there could be people inside. So this fire of separation from Kṛṣṇa, as we have discussed, was much, much deeper, was much larger. So all these other fires, the fire, the milk fire, or the stove fire, the oven fire, cake fire, these are very tiny. So this again shows some utsukaha, extremely eager, utsa, their determination, their eagerness, right? In spite of all odds, they were ready. So a lot of lessons we can learn as a sadhaka from the gopis here. that challenges will come in everyone's life. Krishna consciousness is not path laden with roses. There will be tough times, there will be obstacles, there will be challenges, there will be miscommunication, misunderstanding, physical challenge, health challenge, Vaishnava, interpersonal dealings challenge. So many ups and downs will come. But nonetheless, in spite of all the odds, in spite of all the ups and downs, we should not lose our enthusiasm. Because ultimately, it's me who needs it. It's not that Krishna wants us to come to him, but we need him much more than he needs us. For our own good. I was hearing a class by His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj. When he was around 21, 22 years, he had that call to make. He asked his superiors or his guru, I don't know whom he asked, but some senior Vaishnava was like his guru. Should I join the monastery or the ashram? Thinking that he will say, yeah, you must join. If you join, this will happen. You are great. You are so talented. And you are this, you are that. Which he is, absolutely. But that person, that teacher, gave a very nice response, and he's himself sharing it. He said, Lord Chaitanya's movement is going to spread in every town and village. Lord Chaitanya's movement is going to spread in every town and village. Would you like to be part of it or not? That is your choice. I really like that response. That kind of encourages one and gives hope, and at the same time humbles one. We are not the doers, right? So I don't know how I got there, but just thought to share. Any other comments, thoughts? Anyone else has any additions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, today's class was so beautiful. It was really beautiful. And I really liked the theme that ran along the class that you came back to, that Krishna is calling us. And we just have to hear him, and we are lost in our own daydreams of running after success. And that spoke to me so much. I feel like those who had this knowledge from childhood, they are so lucky. They must have had so much punya. And so, yeah, that's it probably. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji, for your thoughtful comment. I
Hare
know you're
Krishna,
very sincere and trying. Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji, it's rightly mentioned in the beginning chapters, the first chapter, that the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is a must for devotees to purify themselves and to be eager to serve. But it is a sad part of that is that not all devotees are reading the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And that's why many are still lagging behind. So how can we force these people? We have to force now because they are becoming older and yet they haven't started reading the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Because for myself, I see that I can see so much change in myself when we have that eagerness to read, to serve, to do service and all. What can we do? How can we explain to these people that it's a must to read, it's a must to follow? Because there are so many facilities actually online, to follow these classes, and yet people are not doing that.
You mean general masses, or those who are following ISKCON, or
following ISKCON, probably. That's why they're not eager for service. You have to force them to do service at the temple because they're not reading. Then the chanting also is not good, no? If you're not reading, you're not purifying and all.
Right.
Sometimes I think, how can we convince them that this is the proper channel from where we can get purification and have the love to serve Kṛṣṇa?
Yeah, you nicely mentioned that we have to always read scriptures, because scriptures help us to understand why we are doing what we are doing, or how we should be doing what we are doing. Otherwise, the nature of this, we are hearing the worldly scriptures, the world katha, World Cup katha, right? So much things going on. In the office, everyone is reminding of World Cup, money, this, that. We need someone to remind us of Kṛṣṇa. And who is going to do that? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is going to do that. But we have to, as you rightly said, we have to take time. Otherwise, we will grow spiritually weak, and we will lose the motivation to do chanting, reading, seva. Everything will become a drag. So now the question comes, how to inspire others? Well, charity begins at home. We read ourselves and share to the best ability we can, right? And share with them, invite them for classes, invite them. Today's a special class in the temple by this, today's Janmashtami. Share. These days, as you said, a lot of katha, nice katha is available on YouTube. If you hear a nice class, please share with your friends. Hey, I really like this class. Please, you also hear. Especially the devotees are also very intelligent, because they also know people don't have time here, 1 or 2 hour classes. Therefore, the trend is YouTube shorts. Fatafat, 5 minutes mein batao. Right? I don't have 1 hour. Tell me in 5 minutes, whatever you want to. So you share them small snippets, small audios, small lectures, right? Where everyone is busy. And of course, ultimately, it's not about time, it's about taste, right? If we have taste, even while brushing, we will hear Kṛṣṇa Katha. If we have taste, even while cooking, we can hear Kṛṣṇa Katha. Even while driving, we can hear Kṛṣṇa Katha. Even while, we can read a verse with our family together. It's not about time, it's about taste. So we have to try to develop that taste. It will happen in sadhu sangha. It's an acquired taste, as we say, right? It's an acquired taste. Initially, it may appear to be bitter, but by the mercy of Bhagavatam, if we keep relishing it, keep trying to hear, then we will go deeper. And then we can also feel the nectar. I'm sure those devotees are joining. Reading 1 hour, if you ask a common person, say, well, I don't have time. But now so many devotees join, and it becomes very easy. Somehow everything fits in, right? Earlier, it may be quite hard. Even 10 minutes is hard. I empathize and agree. It's hard, but it's not time, it's taste.
Yes.
If one has taste, how many hours, we can ask ourselves, how many hours am I spending in non-value added things? We all know that, what it means. We all know where we are spending time. At least 10% of that time we can give to Kṛṣṇa for reading. So we cannot force anyone, Mataji. We can only inspire that as a dear genuine well-wisher. Please come, please, and see, try to give them in a way they can take it. For example, they may like to hear stories. Okay, say, okay, here is, we have Bhagavatam stories also, right? Because reading like verse to verse, purport, everything, it will need some taste to, or some habit, right? So initially we can say, okay, read Gajendra's story, right? Or read Dhruv Maharaj's story. Read Prahlad Maharaj, any section, because it's like a Nigama. Kalpataru Galitam Phalam, it's like a ripened fruit. Anywhere you like, read. It's okay. Better than not reading. Or come to the temple. Devotees prepare so nice classes. I think you live near a temple. Invite them. And you don't have to worry about the breakfast too. Come there, attend class, take breakfast, right? Right? And so, prasadam, of course. And make a study group if possible. Some people, Sangha is very powerful. Sangha mein badi shakti hoti hai. So we have to try to make a study group, or sometimes you can make it more creative. Okay, this is like the lecture of the week, right? Some devotees do that. This is lecture of the week. Let's say you have 5 Mataji group who have some interest, but they need some inspiration and motivation to carry along. And you facilitate. These 5 Matajis are in the group. This is the lecture of the week, and only 1 hour. I'm sure everyone can figure out 1 hour in a week. You hear it. Everyone will hear and share 2 points which really struck them. This is another creative way to inspire, right? Please share 2 points, because it's 1 hour. There will be so many nectarian points. So everyone can share 2 points. You can have a WhatsApp group, and then you get 10 points. And then next week 2, week 3, different lectures you can post from different, Prabhupada's lectures or other senior Vaishnavas classes. You can post there. That's also a very interesting and nice way.
Yes, sure.
So think, brainstorm what will work. Try. If something works, keep it. If something doesn't work, feel free to change. And of course, pray, Kṛṣṇa, please help me.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your genuine interest and eagerness to help others. That's so noble.
Prabhu, finally, what I did, some were not coming regularly. So I started the Bhagavad Gita class at home. They liked it so much. I do it on Saturday, only for 1 hour. I said, I'm not going to do Kirtan, nothing. Only for 1 hour, 2 to 3 p.m. They liked it and they started coming. And they said they have never read the Bhagavad Gita by themselves, and now they are appreciating so much. Because they have only heard the Katha by verse at the temple. When I'm doing verse by verse, like you do, which I learned from you, probably, thank you so much. They liked it so much, now they're coming regularly. At least I have 8 persons at home. Only for ladies. I say, only ladies who come will be at ease to discuss and all.
Wow.
So they like it, the Bhagavad Gita.
That is so wonderful.
And I started that.
Service.
This is what I can do, so that they can go for service later. Otherwise, we're going to miss these people, no, for service.
It's very nice. There is no better well-wisher in the world than one who is trying to bring others closer to Kṛṣṇa.
I want them to do
You
that
are their
service.
genuine well-wisher.
Because I can't go out, my husband is not well, so I'm finding means how to get them closer to the temple. So this is what I can do. Yeah.
Wonderful. And this is called like the win-win strategy. You're helping them, you're helping yourself.
Yes,
when
of
we try
course.
to
I am
help
getting in
others-
touch. Yes, that's it.
Exactly. This is
They are
the beauty
helping me,
of-
in fact.
Yeah. They're helping you, you are helping them. This is
Two-way
so
traffic,
wonderful.
yeah.
Thank
This
you
is
for
good.
your
I am
great
learning
service.
so much from you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम पुराण की जय, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो। Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Hari Bol.
Thank you.